Spurs fans, lately, many of you have been asking, TSR, do you think Keldon Johnson is going to be traded? Well, here's hot take TSR. Keldon Johnson is not going to get traded before the season, during the season, or after the season. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Happy Wednesday. And many of you are aware that Keldon Johnson is up for a contract extension. He's on the last year of his current contract. It is $17 million. And he has not been extended yet. So I'm seeing a lot of folks on social media and some of you saying, hey, this is the same thing we've actually been seeing the last 3 years. Keldon Johnson is going to be traded. Seems like a subject that's been beaten to a dead horse, but I want to address it again because I don't think he's going anywhere. So I'm going to talk about the positives with Keldon, some of the negatives, and then why I think he's staying. Let's get into it. First off, the positives. He's our longest tenured Spur, drafted in 2019, and that counts for something. Somebody that stuck with the team through the good and bad, and it's been mostly bad record-wise, and now the team, of course, is a contender. He's been called this by the players, by Wemby himself, I believe. He's the heart of the team. Do you really want to get rid of do you want to rip out the Spurs' heart? No! Rating 6th man of the year, say what you will. He is the rating 6th man of the year, which some of you are using for a reason why they should move on from him, because his trade value is probably higher now than it ever will be. I get it. He is on a good contract. His original contract was 4 years, and it was a descending contract. Started, I believe, at $20 million, currently at the $17.5 million I originally mentioned. And he's just Spursy. You know, community guy, loves the Texas lifestyle, just feels Spursy. And then, there's also this. You guys remember this? Keldon Johnson named to the 2020 U.S. men's basketball team. The Olympic team that Greg Popovich coached. And let me tell you right now, nobody's going to convince me that he didn't play a part of Keldon Johnson being on that team. And Pop is not the coach of the Spurs anymore, but he still is in the front office. There's history there. There's history between the know. As far as I know, it's good history, so there's something there. Is he a Pop guy? Maybe, maybe not. He at least was then. So I do think that helps, is what I'm trying to say in keeping him in San Antonio. As far as the negatives, he's not perfect. One-dimensional in regards to his offense. It's either a three-point shot or he's driving to the rim and doing the bully ball or hero ball and taking the shot versus either 1, 2, or 3 defenders. And that really got exposed in the playoffs as the Spurs were playing better defensive teams. Speaking of defense, he is not a good defender. I do think the effort is there at times, but he's just not. He's never going to be a player we talk about being on a second All-NBA defensive team or first All-NBA defensive team. That's just not his game. I've already alluded to it. He did have a poor playoff performance. He had a few good games and hit a couple big shots, but overall, I think it is fair to say he was disappointing in the playoffs. And he wasn't the only one. This isn't just, we would have won if Keldon played better. We would have won if a lot of players played better. His role will likely shrink next season. With the acquisition of Tobias Harris, we do expect year 2 Carter Bryant to be better. Also expecting Terrence Reed Jr. possibly get some minutes with the team before the end of the year, maybe before the All-Star break. I think he's going to get less minutes. And then it's his size. Insert joke now, we're talking about our Johnson size. In my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, he's too small to really play the 4. We don't want a guy that's 6'6" playing the 4. We want a guy that's preferably 6'8", 6'9", 6'10". But we have what we have on the team, right? But definitely too small to play for. Definitely should not be playing the 5. And we did see some center Johnson. I don't think we saw it a lot last season. We definitely saw it the year before Mitch's first year. And then it's just not quite athletic enough to be a wing. When you see the athleticism out of a player like Carter Bryant or even Stephon Castle or a lot of our guys, it's just not quite there. That's my concern with Julian Champagnie. Champagnie's a decent defender, but the athleticism is not going to blow you with athleticism. So there you go. There are the negatives with Keldon Johnson. After talking about him, I think you can easily make an argument based on some of the positives on why the Spurs should keep him. But I also see the other side of the coin, the other side of the fence. I can see why you think he should go. Here's a final reason why I think he should stay. This is a Spurs contracts over the next few years. We're focusing on 2026-27, and specifically Harrison Barnes. And if you haven't seen this before, yes, De'Aaron Fox is making more than Wemby over the next 4 seasons. Don't get me started. I'm focusing on Harrison Barnes because this is likely going to be his last season with the Spurs, making $8 million. I think Keldon Johnson is going to take his spot. The veteran, the locker room guy, the community guy. Harrison's a great community guy. And the guy that's in a more reduced role with the reduced salary. And this is the big if, Spurs fans. This is the big if. If Keldon Johnson is willing to take a reduced role, which I think it will be moving forward, and a reduced contract, I could see the Spurs signing him to a 3-year. I know immediately, 3 years, you're crazy, TSR. Hear me out. 3 years for $12 million, $10 million, $8 million. Another descending contract like he did the first time. And it's all positive for him. He stays with the contender in the Spurs, contender likely for the next decade, stays in Texas, and he stays in San Antonio. That seems like a win-win-win for Keldon Johnson. And despite his deficiencies, I don't want us to act like he's a bad basketball player. He is a good basketball player, but he's a flawed basketball player. But he's a fantastic guy in the locker room from what I know, and a fantastic community guy. And having a player like that, that's not eating up a huge chunk of your salary cap, that's going to still be able to contribute on the floor too. It's not that he's going to come in and just do nothing every game. I think he can still contribute as well, and who knows? Maybe he'll bulk up or he'll slim down. Some of you said you think he should slim down a little bit. And, smaller Johnson might be better for the team. Geez. Not going on that path anymore, but I think it's going to work out. And if I'm wrong, this will be a video we can revisit in 6 months, a year, or whatever. If he gets traded at the All-Star break before the season or after the season, then part of the things we're doing on the channel now is kind of looking back at some takes where I nailed it or I was wrong. And some of you have already suggested some videos to do in the future. The video I'm going to do Friday is actually one where maybe I got something right. I don't pre-screen the videos. I'm just going to go into it blind. I think that's the best way to do it. I know loosely what I talked about in the video, so I got an idea, but hopefully when we look back on this, I nailed it. I know when you get a little attached to players, especially when it's a guy that's been with us as long. I really want to see Keldon win a championship. If the Spurs win it this year and they do decide to move on from Keldon, I'll be disappointed because I've enjoyed his entire time in San Antonio, but I'll also be happy for him because he was here when the team started getting bad in the 2019-20 season and has been with the entire time, has gone from a bench player to a starter to a bench player to sixth man of the year, and in the last few years, he's constantly been the talk of being traded from the team and just goes out and does his thing, and I hope it works out for him. I really does. No matter what happens, I just hope he gets a championship. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling now. I'd like to see him get a ring in San Antonio. That would mean a lot, of course, to him, but as a fan, that would mean a lot to me. I obviously have no control over it, but that's what I'd like to see. All right. Am I right, Spurs fans? As I know there's some of you that are diehard Keldon fans and think he'll stay here. So do you think that my reasoning is right on why he'll stay, even though he'll get a reduced role, that he'll take a reduced contract and he'll want to stay in San Antonio? Or let me know if I'm wrong. TSR, sorry, buddy. He's out of here at the All-Star break. Do you think he's going before the season even starts? Or do you think he's traded after the season? Maybe they extend him and then trade him, or do they just let him walk? That's also a possibility, too, we haven't talked about. Does he become a free agent? And we get nothing for him and he just leaves. We'll see. Hit the thumbs up if you like to support the video. And subscribe to become part of Robson Spurs community. Thank you, and as always, go Spurs go!